Amara was just the girl behind the coffee counter wearing a worn-out uniform and hands that smelled of cheap beans. No one knew her name. No one asked. Until one morning, a 38-second video hit the internet. In the clip, Amara is speaking loudly in Arabic to a passenger. No accurate subtitles, no context, only the caption, "Airport employee loses control." 500,000 views. Overnight. Next morning, she was reassigned to scrubbing the staff area. No one asked what she'd been saying. No one cared what she'd done to help. "You're just a barista. Know your place," Ms. Cornell told her in front of the whole team. But what no one knew was, Amara speaks 6 languages. And 12 years ago, she saved a life. That very person is now 3 gates away and has just recognized the voice he could never forget. Gate 19, 6:42 a.m. Loudspeaker chatter blends with the espresso machine's hiss. Scents of scorched milk, thawed pastries, and tension hang in the air. Amara stands behind the counter. She wipes it for the 4th time in a minute. Not because it's dirty, but because her hands need something to do. A man in an expensive suit steps up, Bluetooth in his ear. "Grande Americano. Hot, no talking." She nods. No argument, no smile, just service. That's the rule. Don't stand out. Don't speak up. Outside, passengers stream past. No one looks at the barista. They only check their watches. Amara sees everything. A child drops a teddy bear. An elderly traveler asks for directions and is ignored. A blonde co-worker smirks, calling her a walking backdrop. She stays silent, but records every second. Amara has worked this counter for 6 years. No promotion, no change, no one asks why. She was once an honors linguistics student, fluent in English, French, Arabic, Spanish, Swahili, and Italian. Here she's only coffee Amara. Miss Cornell, the manager, clicks past in high heels. "You dropped caramel on the till," she says without looking. Amara bends to wipe it, silent. Cornell leans in. "Stand up straight. We don't want guests thinking we hire lazy people." The jab isn't about posture. It's about skin, accent, the fact she exists. Amara lifts her head. Not to react, but to memorize the gaze that renders her invisible. Lacey hovers near the counter, waving to security. Blonde, loud, does little, always favored. Early breaks, constant praise. She calls Amara the backdrop when she thinks Amara can't hear. "Some people are born to stay behind. Don't try to rise," she once joked, eyes dead serious. Amara didn't answer. Silence is safety. Yet that morning the air shifted, not in temperature but in attention. A woman in a white hijab rushed up, tears streaming. "My husband... luggage... someone took... Arabic," she stammered in broken English. Check-in staff froze. Security stepped back. Amara stepped forward, without asking permission. Leaving the counter, Amara lightly touched the woman's arm and spoke Arabic. Not loud, not hurried, just clear and rounded. The woman stopped crying, eyes wide. "Thank you. Allah bless you." Amara translated every word, alerted baggage services, explained lost luggage procedures. She moved as if born to it. From a leather seat near gate 20, a man looked up, fresh off a flight from Cairo, phone in hand, headset on, yet her voice pierced sound in years. Julian Reeve, award-winning documentarian, couldn't place her face, but the voice... He'd heard it 12 years ago in a Paris train station. Julian sat bolt upright, heart skipping. The woman interpreting in flawless Arabic, precise, calm, sent him back 12 years. Lost in Paris, language blind, he'd been saved by a dark-skinned girl with braided hair who said, "J'ai vu, je vais t'aider." He had never forgotten that tone. Now she stood here, coffee-stained apron, international concourse, unnoticed by all but him. Amara slid quietly behind the counter as if nothing had happened. Julian knew she wasn't just an employee. She was a story hidden in plain sight, and he would have to tell it. Amara wiped the counter. Steady hands, steady breath. While her eyes searched for the woman she'd helped, now gone. No thanks from management, no recognition, only the espresso hiss and Ms. Cornell's heels behind her. Cornell muttered in French, sure Amara wouldn't understand. Always showing off. She'll cause trouble. Amara understood every syllable, remembered every judgment. In many languages, she set the cloth down and kept serving. Across the concourse, Julian still watched, reassembling memories. If she was the same girl, he owed her. 7:13 a.m. A man in a beige coat burst to the counter, hands shaking. "Who speaks Arabic? My wife's lost, can't find her." His daughter clutched his coat, eyes red. Check-in staff backed away. Security shrugged. Amara stepped up again. "I speak. she said softly. The man's eyes lit. Alhamdulillah. Her cadence quickened. Flawless translations. Calls to security, flight data pulled. She wasn't an official interpreter, but she was the only one who calmed the chaos. Amara stood center concourse. No notes, no script. Each Arabic phrase clear and steady, a conductor of order. She gathered details, switched tongues like breathing. This time staff listened and ran. Into the radio she called, "Employee 1185, urgent Arabic assistance at gate 19. A guard muttered, "You're just the coffee girl." She ignored him, knelt, and told the daughter in French, "Don't be afraid." The child nodded. 5 minutes later, the mother was found. Misrouted to secondary screening by a name mix-up, she clung to husband and child, sobbing. "Shukran, shukran," the father repeated. Amara only nodded, stepping back as if she'd never stepped forward, waiting for no thanks, no name. But the woman grabbed her hand, kissed the back of it. "You were the only one who saw us." Amara froze, then bowed her head. "Je vous prie," she answered in French, light as wind, deep as debt. From afar, Julianne Reeves stood motionless, coffee gone cold. He no longer doubted. The girl from 12 years ago is Amara. She's just saved another family, yet still remains unseen. After the emotional reunion, everyone slipped back into routine, except one person. Ms. Cornell loomed behind them, fingers squeezing her clipboard, eyes narrowed. She hated seeing customers clustered around Amara, hated hearing praise for a girl who only makes coffee. A passenger approached the counter. Expensive coat, neat tie, polite smile. "I'll have whatever the hero girl is having," he joked. Amara was about to reply when Cornell cut in. "She's not an interpreter," the manager snapped, voice icy. "She's a service worker. Please order through the proper channels." The man hesitated, looked at Amara a beat longer, something shifting in his eyes. Amara said nothing, but inside one thing was being crushed, and another was waking up. End of shift, Amara sat alone in the locker room. Uniform soaked with sweat, stale coffee clinging to her skin. She stared at her phone. An email from 3 years ago still sat there. She had applied for a master's in international communication, rejected 3 times. Reason? Lack of practical experience. No one asked why a woman fluent in 6 languages had no practical chance. The screen reflected her face, tired eyes, calloused hands, but a steady gaze. 6 languages, 6 years, still here, Amara whispered. She didn't cry, didn't rage. She simply opened an old folder. Proof. Inside, degrees, recommendation letters, and a photo with Mila, taken the day she put everything on hold to raise her sister. Amara leaned against the break room wall, arms around her knees, eyes closed. Outside, the airport hummed on, as if the world never skipped a beat. Her phone buzzed. A new notification. An unknown account had posted a video. Barista loses it, yells at Arab passenger. She tapped play. Shaky, blurry, only seconds long. No context. Her voice cut mid-sentence. Fake subtitles read, "Leave or I'll call security. This isn't your land." Her heart dropped. Breath shortened. Hands trembled. No name, no tags, but the uniform, name badge, gate 19, clear as day. The clip already had 20,000 views. Amara understood. Silence would not shield her anymore. 7:10 a.m. Back at the counter, eyes no longer met hers. No greetings, just heavy quiet. Lacey strode by with an espresso tray, hip accidentally bumping the syrup shelf. 1 bottle rolled. Amara caught the first, but the second, hazelnut, hit the floor, exploding over a customer's shoes. His leather bag, too. Amara bent down. "I'm so sorry, sir." Lacey slid in. "She spilled it! I saw! She shoved the tray!" Amara looked up. "That's not what happened. The shelf is too close." Lacey cut her off. "Have you seen the video? She's that girl!" The man pulled out his phone. Camera began to roll. The man held his phone at Amara's eye level, lens fixed on her, wiping the floor. Someone behind him whispered, "That's her, the one who yelled at that family." Amara stood, staring into the lens. "Excuse me, I need to clean this before someone slips." He kept filming, zooming in on her face, the coffee stain, her skin. She searched for Ms. Cornell. Cornell stood, arms crossed, silent, then pronounced like a verdict, "Amara Fields, back office, now." The concourse hushed. Everyone watched. No one asked what she'd said, what she'd done. Amara walked inside, each step dragging 6 years of bias with her. The back room was as cold as a stockroom. Harsh fluorescent light poured over Amara's shoulders. Ms. Cornell didn't sit. She stood, clipboard in hand, eyes unblinking. You've damaged the company's image. I was helping them. That video is edited. Doesn't matter, Cornell snapped. In this industry, perception outweighs reality. Amara clenched her fists. I did nothing wrong. Cornell stepped closer. You work here because we allow it, and you're ruining that. She signed a form. Effective immediately, you're reassigned to janitorial. 3 weeks. No appeal. Amara said nothing, stared at the paper. Cornell turned away as if discarding trash. Amara left the room like someone who'd fallen off a cliff. No tears, no screams. She slipped off her apron, folded it tight, held it to her chest. She didn't return to the bar. She wound through service corridors to the janitorial closet. There, she sat on an upside-down bucket, arms on knees, head bowed. Alone. Phone buzzed. New email. Subject, response to position to transfer request. Message, regret to inform you, another candidate selected. 12th rejection, no interview, no reason. Amara opened proof. Degrees from Howard. Recommendation letters, a photo of Mila beaming in the hospital years ago. Amara shut her eyes back against the wall and breathed, as if swallowing every unspoken word. Lunch break found Amara curled in the supply closet. Bleach fumes burned her nose. Shoes soaked from mopping staff restrooms. Scrolling out of habit, she saw it. A new post. Screenshot of the old video, frozen on her speaking Arabic. False subtitle. This isn't your land. Headline. Airport employee goes berserk on passenger. Uploader anonymous, fresh account. No tag, yet anyone who'd seen her uniform knew. She'd done nothing wrong, yet was framed as a threat. No calls for the truth, no shield in sight. She didn't cry. She folded in on herself, small as the mop bucket beside her, and in that silence she felt it keenly. Invisibility can be another way to kill someone slowly. 200 a.m. A new TikTok surfaced. Blank avatar account, 0 followers. Caption, Barista thinks she's a diplomat. The clip jumped mid-sentence. Amara speaking Arabic. No context, no setting, her voice underscored by dramatic music. Fake subtitles. Step aside or I'll call security. This isn't your land. Each word engineered for fear. 20,000 views in 2 hours. Then a reaction vid. A blonde influencer muttered, anyone else think she's overreacting? Hundreds of comments. Typical, playing the victim. Bet she can't really speak Arabic. Meanwhile, Amara was scrubbing bathroom 3, unaware her own voice was being warped and sold. Next morning, passing her old counter, Amara saw Lacey watching that clip. Eyes glued to the screen, a faint smile on her lips. Spotting Amara, Lacey flipped the phone down, pretending to inventory syrup. Amara stayed quiet, not because she wanted to, but because she knew here speaking truth only makes people uncomfortable. Ms. Cornell swept by, casting a quick glance at Amara, then murmured just loud enough for 2 to hear, fame that rises fast burns out faster. Not a warning, a threat. Amara pushed her mop cart past Gate 19, where she'd helped a nameless family, where every misunderstanding began. She looked up, not with hope, but because she needed to witness, with her own eyes, how truth can be drowned by silence. Julian Reeves sits in the International Terminal Cafe, laptop open, headphones set aside. He isn't working, he's replaying the viral clip. Second viewing, then a third, low angle, shaky frame, but he hears that voice, the one that saved him in Paris on a foreign platform. He knows the edit's wrong, the story untrue. Julian calls his assistant. The woman from yesterday, Gate 19. Find me everything on her. The assistant blinks. You're sure you want to contact a barista? Julian's gaze never flinches. No, I want to reach the woman who translated between fear and dignity in an airport where no one saw her. He closes the video. Silence, he decides, is no longer an option. Amara is changing a mop water when she hears footsteps. An older janitor in the night shift uniform nods to her. At first he says nothing, just parks his mop beside hers and turns on the tap. Then softly, these chemicals smell exactly like my old classroom. Amara looks up. I used to teach history, he murmurs, voice low and even. But they said my accent was too heavy. Didn't fit the school's image. She asks no questions, only listens. Before he leaves, he adds, don't let them define you by a uniform, especially those who can't speak the languages you carry. He slips behind a steel door, leaving only that sentence. The first true acknowledgement she's heard in years. Amara stands in the narrow service hall, mop in hand, tiles she's just scrubbed underfoot. No voices. Only the buzz of fluorescent lights and bleach seeping into skin. She opens her phone. An old photo glows. Graduation gown, Mila in her arms, dreams still unstuffed into rags. I am not the apron, I am not this bucket, she whispers. The words echo off walls, no one hears, and those who should don't care. At the corridor's mouth, Lacey passes, throws a glance and drops. The more you fight, the deeper you sink. Be smart. Amara stays silent. They don't need her resistance. They just need her to forget herself. A text from internal HR says, your system account is being updated. Some access will be suspended. She tries logging into company email. Blocked. Searches her transfer applications. Nothing. Every prior submission erased. She walks to HR. A young clerk, Ava Morales, is on duty. My transfer files are gone, Amara says. Ava types, frowns. Are you sure you applied? Amara nods. Ava hesitates, lowers her voice. Strange. You're flagged not a cultural fit. Amara grips her bag strap. That phrase cuts deeper than any rejection. It means no one ever planned to see you. 6 a.m. Amara enters the staff room. A sudden meeting was posted overnight. She wasn't told. Everyone is seated. Miss Cornell stands at the head, voice sharp as steel. First, thank you, Lacey, for the report. Lacey smiles, eyes flicking to Amara. Cornell lifts a printout, a freeze frame from like the viral video. As Amara's distorted profile, fake subtitles still attached. Because of this, Cornell says, we can't risk further brand damage. She scans the room, delivers the verdict. Effective immediately, Amara Fields will not front the counter. Her name is removed from all customer-facing rosters. In a heartbeat, Amara loses more than a role. She loses the name colleagues spoke every day. Silence blankets the room. Amara stands, a blot of ink no one wants to wipe yet no one wants to see. Lacey breaks first. I'm not trying to stir trouble, but if the video's real, we must protect the brand. Several nod, others avoid Amara's eyes. Cornell studies her like expired stock. This isn't discipline, just realigning roles. Amara lets out a thin laugh. Not humor, survival. Because if she doesn't laugh, she'll scream, and if she screams, she'll shatter. She breathes deep. No one has asked for the true story. Cornell blinks, then turns away. No one rises, no one defends. The room is full, yet she is the only one occupying the truth. Back in the north restrooms, broom in hand, Lacey's words echo, she makes guests uncomfortable. No one says black, no one says barista. But every glance spells it. Her phone buzzes. A non-text. Stay quiet or lose even the janitor gig. She scans the ceiling. Cameras seem to track her breath. She opens proof, taps the secret clip. Lacey shoving the syrup tray. Cornell's French sneer in the break room. She hasn't sent it, not out of fear, but timing. No one survives breaking the truth, and she has nothing left to lose. Next day, Amara's name vanishes from the weekly roster. No email, no note, she goes to scheduling. My shift today? The supervisor glances at the screen. You're not on here. Must be a glitch. He falls silent, makes no correction. Amara stands, wiped from reality like dust wiped from glass. No firing, no paperwork, just gone from the board, from the institution's memory. She walks out. Every step sinks into a terminal where people are files, voices are risks, honor disposable. But this time she doesn't retreat. She pulls out her phone and hits send to the man she helped 12 years ago, Julian. Julian is pitching to sponsors when his phone vibrates. Unknown sender, one line. I'm the woman who showed you the way in Paris. I still speak 6 languages. Here they tell me to stay silent. Attached. A low-res video. Lacey set up Cornell's French. Don't let her climb. We need the right image. Julian stops mid-meeting, stands, no apologies. He calls back, voice low, firm. Amara, I owe you a story. Now I want the world to hear it. She says nothing, but inside something explodes, not from pain, but because someone at last has heard. Night shift break room. Amara's phone glows with Julian's text. Meet tomorrow. Private, no notice. She touches the screen, doesn't reply. Beyond the glass, the airport glitters. Travelers unaware the woman who once saved an entire system is now buried under institutional hush. The door swings open. Miss Cornell strides to Amara's locker, doesn't knock, doesn't ask. She pulls out an envelope, holds it up. Did you really think staying quiet would let this blow over? Amara meets her gaze. No, she says. Silence just gives the wrong people more time. Cornell falters half a heartbeat. Amara stands and sends, and for the first time walks out before anyone can order her to. 8 a.m., third floor conference room. Julian stands alone before a projector screen, a black folder in hand labeled, The Invisible Voice, Phase 1. The door swings open. Amara steps in, no barista uniform in sight. Deep blue blouse, hair pinned back, eyes sharp, as if she's just awakened from a 6-year sleep. Julian doesn't say sorry. He says, "The last time I heard your voice, I was the one who was lost. Now I think this country is, and it needs to hear you." He hands her the plan, a 6-part documentary series. Theme, people buried under uniforms. Under cultural and language consultant, her name is already printed, bold, unquestioned. Amara looks at him, then nods. For the first time, the truth is being readied to speak aloud. That afternoon, HR calls. "Ms. Cornell wants you, room 2A, now." Amara walks in, spine unbowed. Cornell sits poised, hands clasped like a political interrogator. "So you're collaborating with Mr. Reeve?" Her tone is steady, but her lips are taut. Amara answers by laying a copy of the film contract on the desk. Julian's signature beneath the words senior advisor. Cornell skims it, scoffs. "Do you think a spotlight scares me?" Amara tilts her head. "No, but it will illuminate the things you said in the dark." Cornell rises, glare knife sharp. Yet this time Amara neither flinches nor steps back. Late evening. Leaving the project office, Amara hears heels behind her. Lacey leans against the rail, phone in hand. "You really think that little virtue show will take you far?" Her laugh is small and razor thin. "People like you get lifted a bit, then dropped once viewers get bored. You are a prop, not the star." Amara stops. "And you'll always hide behind others, shoving them down." Lacey steps closer, voice dropping. "One misstep, one slip, and I'll be first to yank you back." Amara meets her gaze. "Then run fast, because I'm not walking anymore. I'm planted." Next morning, Amara meets with Julian and Ava Morales, the junior HR clerk who quietly dug into the records. On screen, a spreadsheet, 12 transfer requests, all denied, all stamped, not a cultural fit. Ava points, "This tag comes from one account. Who can apply it?" Julian leans forward. "Richard Haynes, Chief Operations. He also approves the language services contract run by his niece." Amara nods. "I applied there once. Rejected for being too sharp for their brand." Julian's hands clench. Ava slides a dossier across the table. Evidence of file suppression, contract fraud, systemic bias. Amara's eyes harden. "All right," she says. "Time they hear my voice. Unedited, uncut." International Relations Summit at the airport. Banners greet delegates in 3 languages. Cameras already rolling. This is no backroom stage. This is public. Amara waits in the green room. Mic taped, hands trembling lightly, eyes locked on her speech. Julian enters. "You'll address reps from 20-plus nations. No second take." Amara nods. "I don't need a second. I need this one." Intro music swells. An usher signals. "On deck." Her worn black heels tap confidently on the polished floor. Each step a year of waiting, a swallowed protest. Doors open. The MC announces, "Please welcome Cultural and Language Advisor Amara Ellis." She walks out, no shrinking, no bowing, ready for truth. Spotlight blazes. Amara doesn't glance at notes. First sentence, Arabic, then French, then Swahili. 3 tongues, 1 breath, not a syllable off. The hall holds its breath. Switching to English, she says, "Language isn't just words, it's identity. Distort it, you wound people. Dismiss it, you erase communities." Subtle shifts ripple through the crowd. She lifts a packet. "Today's official translation, riddled with slurs and bias. I, alone, silently corrected every line." She looks up. Because no one checked. No one thought a barista could parse 6 languages. A hush deepens. She closes. "I'm not here to apologize for my skill. I'm here to remind you you chose to ignore it." Scattered applause starts, and Richard Haynes storms on stage, face pale. "This is a personal attack," he shouts, finger stabbing the air. Amara's gaze is steady. She raises a contract. "Language services deal, approved by you. The vendor, your niece's firm. 3-year cost triple market rates. 0 certified linguists. Diplomatic risk documented." Richard sputters. Julian steps forward. "We verified it. Emails, invoices, signatures." A murmur swells to outrage. Amara's voice softens, cuts deeper. You didn't reject me for lack of talent. You rejected me because my talent would expose your scheme. The hall erupts. Rear doors fly open. 2 security officers stride in. All eyes lock on Richard. Julian nods once. You're suspended pending investigation. Richard thrashes. You believe her? A coffee girl? A cleaning woman in back stands. She speaks for all of us. Then a guard. She's the first to call me by my real name in 4 years. Amara turns. Rows of uniforms, safety vests, dusty hands, eyes blazing. No banners, no chants, just a single wave of applause. Low even. Impossible to dismiss. Their silence finally has sound. Amara steps off the dais. She doesn't watch Richard escorted out. No need. The old power has unmasked itself. Zoya from HR approaches, handing her a folder. We've restored every blocked record, she says. 12 transfer requests, flagged not a cultural fit, not for lack of skill, because you dared speak. Amara opens the first page, her name atop each reverse denial. You're not alone, Zoya whispers. Just the first who wouldn't stay silent. Amara scans the hall. Once invisible staff now clapping for her. She nods gently. Our turn, she breathes, to name ourselves, correctly, fully, proudly. Julian faces Amara. No longer a boss, but an ally. Tomorrow morning you'll greet the Middle East delegation, he says, in all 6 of your languages. No more outsourced interpreters, no more culture-fit excuses. Amara freezes. A year ago she was scrubbing that lounge's floors. Now she'll lead it. Zoya hands her a new badge. Amara Johnson, Multicultural and Language Advisor. No barista. No need to bow. Amara grips the badge, looks up at Julian. I won't let you down. Julian smiles. I know, because you're not just representing this airport. You're speaking for everyone who's ever been underestimated. Amara walks the 3rd floor corridor, the one where she was once stamped unfit. Now every footstep rings, not with submission, but with preparation. In her hand, briefing papers for the delegation meeting. On her chest, a new badge, short, complete, no qualifiers, simply advisor. She passes the old cafe. Tina watches every move, eyes uncertain, as if seeing someone she can no longer predict. Amara doesn't stop. At the elevator, she meets a young barista. Brown skin, braided hair, anxious eyes. New hire? Amara asks. The girl nods. I'm Layla. You're the one from the video, right? Amara smiles. No, I'm the one who'll make sure you're not the next name in a clip. Layla exhales, a shy grin blooming. I never thought anyone would talk to me like this in this airport. Amara meets her gaze. Everyone here has a story. Few are heard. Overhead, the PA echoes. Barista shoes click on polished stone. And then Amara looks up at the soaring ceiling. If each of us dares to speak, to stand, this airport and the world will stop burying our dreams. Layla's eyes shine. If you can, I can. Amara nods. That's our promise. They step into the lift. The doors close. Their footsteps belong to the future. Back at the cafe, Amara stops in front of Ms. Cornell. The manager's arms are folded, face ice cold. Not everyone likes change, Cornell challenges. To many, you're still a barista. Amara's voice is calm steel. I'm not here to please everyone. I'm here to dismantle worn-in prejudice. Cornell scoffs. You think you alone can? Amara steps closer. I'm not alone. I stand for all who were ignored and underestimated. Silence stretches. Cornell smirks, turns away. Amara remains, knowing the real battle has only begun. Tina blocks her path, voice sweet, edges sharp. Heard a petition circulating. People say you're milking the spotlight. No, Zoom. Amara's eyes lock on hers. And who's behind it, Tina? A fake smile. Just repeating what folks think. Amara answers, gentle yet unyielding. My first transfer was stamped not a cultural fit because I spoke plainly, and better than some. Tina lowers her gaze, silent. Amara sighs and walks on. She knows her rise threatens many, but fear is no longer hers to carry. In the briefing room with Julian and Ava, Amara's voice is firm. We can't let talent like mine stay buried. Not just me. Countless women of color are suffocating under invisible biases. Julian nods. That's why Voices Unseen exists, to change the lens. Ava projects data, refusals, shady contracts, silent schemes. Amara states, we're not fighting only for me, we're reclaiming justice for every voice forced quiet. The room falls silent, weighed by her truth. She recalls a rainy dusk 3 years ago. Hands aching from bleach, she filled out one last application. Whitbridge Global Translations, her final hope. 2 days later, we prioritize candidates aligned with brand culture. Your confidence is incompatible with our environment. The words cut deeper than any blade. Mila lay in hospital, future uncertain. Amara, once brimming with promise, was left alone with a silent rejection. Julian slides a thick file across. Translation contracts K.A. Haynes approved. Mostly his niece's firm, 0 certified linguists. Inflated invoices, unqualified freelancers, dangerous errors. All buried, Julian says. Amara's voice is iron. Silence ends now. We'll smash this invisible wall with truth. Julian's answering smile is blazing, and you'll tell the story. In the great hall, the once ignored stand. Janitors, guards, servers, quiet stalwarts of the terminal. No microphones, no chants. Just steady applause, proud nods. Amara stands among them, heart racing. This victory is theirs. Julian proclaims, "We will not let these voices be buried again." Unified, they respond, "We don't ask for power, only recognition." A flame spreads, enough to remake a system. At a packed press conference, cameras train on Amara, no longer a barista, but an emblem of equity. Her voice rings clear. "I was labeled unfit, erased, belittled for my skin and my speech." She unveils documents, fraudulent contracts, blocked applications. Today, the oppressors face consequence. Richard Haynes is suspended. Every tainted contract will be audited. Flashes pop. Amara smiles softly. This win isn't mine alone. It belongs to every silent soul. After the conference, Amara enters her new office. No cafe counter, no old uniform. On the desk waits a green envelope sealed in gold. Inside, an invitation from a renowned European university. Visiting lecturer, applied linguistics. She sits, a quiet smile forming. Mila, once fragile, had fueled this horizon. Amara places the letter beside a photo of their graduation day, hands clasped, eyes bright with hope. Footsteps echo. Layla peers in, gaze full of admiration. Amara tells her gently, "Never let anyone snuff out your voice." Because Amara's tale is not just one woman's. It is the story of every voice yet to be heard. Floodlights bathe the screening room. Julian opens the Voices Unseen premiere, pride thick in every syllable. These are the stories of a people pushed aside and yet never truly silent. On screen, familiar images, Amara behind the coffee bar, Arabic and French flowing, laughter, tears, custodians, guards, baristas, all finally speaking. The room falls hushed, moved. Amara watches from the wings, chest swelling with pride. She knows this reel holds not just her journey, but thousands like hers. Julian turns, smiling. "You're invisible no more, Amara. You're a symbol." She answers softly, "And I'll never let anyone dim that light." An old photo appears. Amara and Mila, hand in hand on graduation day. Her voice narrates, "I left school to care for my sister. I never thought I'd return. Never thought I'd hear my own name again." She faces the lens. "Life won't let us bury dreams forever. We may be beaten, but we cannot be erased." Silence blankets the audience. Tears slip down cheeks. Amara adds, "Today I stand here not only for me, but for everyone left behind." A surge of applause answers. Her story now a catalyst for thousands. Spotlights follow Amara's steady steps. In English she begins, "Language isn't mere words, it's identity, a bridge between souls." She shifts to Arabic, to French, to Swahili, each tongue a pillar. Abused words divide, honored words build bridges, stitch communities. Scanning the hall, voice bright with conviction. Every voice has value, and no one has the right to deny it. Applause swells, rolling like distant thunder. Amara smiles, knowing her words have leapt beyond invisible walls. After the talk, Amara meets Celeste, the brand director who once stalled her rise. Celeste's smile is frost. "Think you'll change anything? One slip and you lose it all." Amara stands tall. "I don't need your permission to exist." Celeste scoffs. "You're a barista playing keynote star. You'll be forgotten." Amara's reply is granite. "I don't fear obscurity. I fear the silence for people like you impose." Stares lock. Truth versus prejudice. Amara is ready for the next round. When the session ends, Amara isn't alone. Around her gather co-workers whose voices once sank unheard. Hands clasp shoulders, eyes shine. Each carries a private battle. Amara tells them warmly, "We're no longer solitary. Our voices are strength now. Together we'll change things." In the bustling terminal, a new swell rises. No timid whispers, but firm affirmations. Amara gazes upward, hope flooding her chest. We won't just exist, we'll be seen and heard. Next day, the airport feels different. Glances no longer glide past Amara. Colleagues once distant nod with respect. Ms. Cornell avoids her eyes. Yet janitors, guards, fresh baristas approach, smiling, thanking. By the window, Amara watches the stream of travelers, hearing fragments of her story ignite others. A black woman steps close. I thought I was only a shadow. Now I see. I can shine too. Amara's smile is gentle. That's the power of being seen and deterred. Julian takes the podium before a packed hall. We're witnessing change not just for Amara, but for thousands of silent workers. He lifts a new banner. A voice is unseen is now company policy. Every transfer request will get fair review. Every voice will be heard. Amara stands beside him, eyes bright. A small step today can clear the path for bigger strides tomorrow. Thunderous applause erupts. Her tale has become a systemic turning point. Evening gala in the grand hall. Cameras sweep tear-streaked faces and linked hands. Julian presents the Voices Unseen award to Amara. She hoists it, voice trembling yet firm. This trophy isn't mine alone. It belongs to everyone forced quiet. The crowd rises in sustained applause. From the doorway, Layla and other new hires beam. Their eyes speak trust and hope. Amara knows this light will not dim. Their voices now echo farther than ever. Amara rests her palm on a blank office wall. Morning sun igniting every speck. Her voice resonates. People may try to snuff us out, overlook us, press us down, but the fire inside never dies. She recalls the darkest days, rejections, misjudgments, days that taught her to rise. We don't work merely to live, we work to be seen, heard, respected. Turning to her desk, she powers up the computer. The road is still long, but this time she walks it with the community ablaze. Morning at the terminal, Amara surveys check-in queues. New staff, young, multicolored, mingle with travelers. A shy, braided girl approaches. Ms. Amara, your story. I want to be strong like you. Amara's smile is soft light. No one's born strong. Strength is standing up every time we fall. She clasps the girl's hands, passing on resolve. Guard your voice. Never let anyone strip it away. Footsteps echo across polished floors. A steady reminder. Our voices cannot be ignored. Amara's journey now blazes a path for the next generation. In a small workshop, Amara stands before a circle of black women. Her story spills out, truth-laden, resilient. Each of us carries a forgotten chapter, as she says. Never let that silence you. Your voice is power, a bridge to others. An older woman raises a trembling hand. Your journey gives me faith to go on. Amara's smile is gentle. We rise not just for ourselves, but for those who will follow. Soft applause ripples through the room. A community begins to find its sound through her tale. A new day dawns in Amara's office. Portraits of diverse staff line the wall. No longer shadows, but living faces. She pauses at each photo. We are more than our job, she whispers. We are dreams, stories, worth. A new colleague enters, hesitant. Thank you for letting us be seen. Amara's eyes glow. One person willing to look is enough to change the world. The phone rings. Another call, another chance. Amara's voice doesn't fade now. It echoes everywhere. On stage at a youth summit, Amara meets bright, curious gazes. Never let anyone tell you you're not enough, she begins, warm and direct. The world needs your voice, your difference. She recounts her own climb, dismissed then acknowledged. Strength isn't never falling. It's rising every time you do. Applause breaks. A few eyes glisten. Amara closes. Guard your dream. Speak your truth, and never let anyone hush you. Outside a meeting room, young employees huddle buzzing over Amara's tale. They swap hidden hopes, silent struggles. Her story keeps me going, one admits. Now I know I deserve to be heard, another adds. Amara, eavesdropping nearby, can't hide her smile. Change isn't one person, it's many awakening. A voice rings out. No one gets left behind. We speak together. Eyes ignite with resolve. A new generation is rising, powered by echoes of voices once stifled. Alone in her office, Amara gazes through sunlit trees. No one measures my worth but me, she reflects. Persistence, faith, honest speech, that's my compass. She opens the Voices Unseen trophy box, feeling its hard-won weight. The road is long, but I've walked darker stretches. She rises, stepping out, each stride a reminder. Persistence will always work wonders. Addressing university students, Amara shares more than theory. She shares life. It's not where you start, her mellow voice assures, but where you go when you refuse to quit. A student asks, "Did you ever think of giving up?" She laughs softly. "Many times, but I remembered people like me still unheard. That's why I'm here." She scans hopeful faces. "Keep your voice. The world needs truth and courage." Waiting outside a lecture hall, soft lights halo her face. Amara knows her path is far from done. Every step, every story is part of a grander fight. For fairness and regard for the forgotten. She recalls rejections, misjudgments, now mere shadows. She is no longer afraid or alone. Thousands walk beside her, sharing one purpose, one voice. Deep breath. We will not let any voice be lost. We'll fight and speak until everyone is seen, heard, respected. Stage lights flare, opening a fresh chapter of hope. Evening sun filters into Amara's small office. Photos line the wall, faces once overlooked, voices once muted. Her work is more than a job, it's legacy. A legacy of grit, courage, refusal to hush before injustice. Each story told, each voice heard, lays another brick in a wall of equity. She smiles softly. My voice isn't just mine. It belongs to all who dare speak, even when the world tries to silence them. That's the gift I leave the next generation. A tiny flame ignites, burning on in every brave heart. On the rooftop, wind lifts Amara's hair. She surveys the vast horizon, sunlight spilling warmth. Her voice rings, strong and steady. My story isn't a finale. It's a declaration. Everyone deserves to be seen, heard, respected. If you hear this voice, remember, no one can strip your worth but you. Never stay silent. Speak, persist. Your voice can change the world. The breeze carries her words toward a brighter dawn. Amar smiles, stepping forward, closing one journey, opening a chapter for all.